That's right. It's another late night, which means it's time for another reach into the Just Giggle It grab bag. And tonight we're pulling out. Oh my god, it's a Pokeball. What's inside this Pokeball here? Let me just hit the button. Oh my god, Ash Ketchum from Pallet Town, a Hamilton parody. What do you know?
It's Lin-Manuel Miranda playing Ash Ketchum Dragon. That's who's inside the Pokeball.
Well, I think more accurate is Joshua Thomas playing Ash Ketchum, or
Okay,
Joshua
fair enough,
Thomas
fair enough.
playing Lin-Manuel Miranda playing Ash Ketchum.
Ash Ketchum.
Depending how
That's fair.
layered you want to go there with that.
There's definitely a Davey Diggs playing Gary. There's if we want to go that far, we'll get into that. But Dragon, let's talk some Hamilton, because this is an excuse for us to talk Hamilton. Yay. Dragon, I'm kind of like, I've never really gotten your animosity towards Hamilton, because to me it's like, basically I was on a live stream Joshua Thomas did today. I was kind of trying to get him to convince you to listen to the album, and the reason why, Dragon, is the album is like, yeah, it's like 2.5 hours. It's a long sit, but it tells the story from beginning to end. It gives you all the exposition you need, and just the songs are all bangers. You get a great villain, you get a great hero. I mean, you just get the whole story on the album. So, Dragon, what makes you apprehensive about Hamilton?
I don't know. Iffy on Lin-Manuel Miranda's style. I don't know. It's just it's. I've had trouble getting into it. I don't know.
I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Yeah. You don't mean to put me on the spot. You're costing the patron saint of our whole little show here. Say, hey, get him into Hamilton. Convince him to watch Hamilton. And why don't you like Hamilton? Right? You're not putting me on the spot. Oh, of course not.
Right. Well, just saying, man. Have you tried listening to the album?
I've tried. That's the thing. I mean,
Okay.
look, if I gave my all, that's the thing. Even listening to this, I can't really get into it without the lyrics in front of me. That's really not a good indicator for me. I just can't get into it unless I see the words in front of me. In this one guy's case, where I've never had that with anyone else.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, well, I won't bore you with the details about why I love Hamilton. It's not my favorite musical. It's honestly not even my favorite Lin-Manuel Miranda musical. That would go to In the Heights. I would pick In the Heights over this, but still, I do think it's kind of a masterclass. All right, Dragon, but you know what's funny is that these parodies of this one particular song, this is almost like a subgenre of YouTube as it stands now. And I can tell you right now, this is not the first, nor shall it be the last Ash Ketchum from Pallet Town Hamilton parody. But I've seen a lot of them. Imagine a Hamilton themed episode of DuckTales. Yeah, they'd all have to rap Claude Coringa. That's the thing. Do you think we could get David Tennant to rap? No, David Tennant could perhaps be the King George. Anyways, so yeah, Dragon, this is kind of a subgenre. Like I said, people will just take characters and kind of like weave their life story using this rhythmic structure. So, I mean, with that in mind, you didn't get anything out of the song at all?
No, let me be clear. I mean, I like this. I'm just saying the original.
Well, I'm just saying the original song. That's what I'm asking about, the source material. You didn't get anything out of it? Because the source material song was the song that Lin-Manuel Miranda sang to the White House in that poetry jam that kind of got them to greenlight the play in the first place. So it's probably the most important song in the musical.
I mean, look, I think I get the appeal, and again, it's okay. It's not egregious or anything. I just have trouble getting into it, is all.
All right, so you're saying that parody songs of this song are more up your speed.
I think so. Maybe that's, I don't know. Something there's a lot of, I think this has a little bit more substance than kind of what the original when I heard. I guess there's something.
Well, no, it doesn't.
Okay, you know what I mean. I mean, I had more to glom onto in terms of substance. Than I had.
Right. You had, yeah. I feel you. I
don't mean like, it's not exactly comparing Ash Ketchum to.
I mean, the thing about Hamilton is that, like, the thing that is staggering to me about how good Hamilton is to me is how, like, Lin-Manuel Miranda was basically able to take this really dry, honestly, for me, I've tried to read it, kind of boring biography of Hamilton and really work in details into the lyrics that were in the biography. So on that level, Dragon, the lyrical wordplay based on like actual letters that Hamilton would write and stuff like it. Oh, I could go.
I mean, look,
geek
yeah,
out
I
about
appreciate what he's doing. All right, again, we can't just turn this into like a Hamilton thing. We got to talk about the
Well,
correlation.
there's no way to avoid it. All right, there's
I'm
no way to
aware.
avoid
I'm
it.
aware. I'm just saying we can't go on and on about this. But
I know,
just
it's
to say
fine,
it.
it's fine.
I do. I want to say I do appreciate what he's doing with the whole Hamilton, premise, like kind of getting people into history in a really neat way. That's a good. It's a noble.
Absolutely,
It's a very
that's the
noble
best thing about Hamilton.
It's a
is
very
the fact
noble
that
thing
it's-
that he's doing.
yeah.
All credit in the world to Lin-Manuel Miranda. Of course, I've told you about this. Let's turn the tables a little bit here, buddy.
Okay.
I keep telling you about that season of Curb Enthusiasm where you have
I
Larry
know,
David.
I know. I need to watch it. I'm
Well,
aware.
Miranda, it's hysterical. Anyway.
It's kind of like Lost. I will do any number of things to get you to actively listen to the Hamilton soundtrack, Dragon.
Anyway, getting back on point. So, of course, Ash Ketchum from Pallet Town. This is kind of an example of kind of a lockdown sketch, if you will. Basically, a sketch where we don't necessarily have access to all of our actors, all of kind of the JGI staples, as it were, and kind of narrowing it down to the man of many hats, the Mad Hatter of JGI himself, Joshua Thomas, who many fronts is kind of like a one-man operation when in a pinch, and many times is kind of a man wearing copious amounts of headwear. Anyway, so Joshy boy here, what he's done is in a pinch, you know what? I'm not gonna let kind of little kind of locked door action. Your little rainy day, kind of rainy day of sickness gonna keep me down. I'm gonna buy into all this all the Hamilton fun. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna kind of take this gag that we did once with Harley Quinn, the Joke versus the Real World, which was originally episode 5 had a different opening. Love me some episode 5, Harley Quinn, the Joke versus the Real World. Episode 5 had the what was it, Aaron Burr song.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't forget if it was just like something extra they shot. I'm not sure if they were going to make the cut or not, because Hamilton did play a role within that episode. So the point being, Harley and Joker are listening to that song and they're singing along to it, and it kind of ended up being a deleted scene. So it's kind of, I think Josh Nunes kind of took a little bit of that, I guess, like on his off time, maybe while he's playing Animal Crossing.
Oh, maybe I'm playing Animal Crossing right now, Dragon.
Oh, come on, don't.
No, I'm kidding. I'm not. I wouldn't do that.
My point is, I imagine Joshua Thomas, kind of looking for what next, because right now JJ they're kind of in an editing aphasia, as it were, where they're locked down. They're editing. They're like, okay, well, we're just gonna. Piper Henson, Katie Mary Garland, they're kind of editing some stuff. Hopefully, we'll be able to see soon some really next level sketches we have coming our way. Some heightened, some why so shenanigans, as it were. Joshua Thomas is like, I have all this Nick Cage stuff I want to do, but I can't do it, darn it. So I'm just going to sit here, maybe play some Animal Crossing while listening to some Hamilton. He listens to Hamilton, gets to the song, and the song gets to the parts about a fatherless boy and all this stuff. And
that's literally the first thing on the Hamilton soundtrack is how does a bastard, orphan, son of a whore, and a Scotsman. That's literally the opening lines of Hamilton.
Okay, the point is he starts his listen of Hamilton. Semantics.
He doesn't have to get very deep into it.
All right, fine. He's in there less than a minute. All right. Anyway, the point being, the song starts "Fatherless Boy," and they list the coming from New York, I believe, right? New York being the town in that one.
Hamilton coming from New York. He actually came from didn't you listen to the song? He came from an island.
I know he came from
an island in the middle of the Caribbean or something like that.
All right, okay. This is gonna be terrible use semantics and all this. Okay, well, the point is,
now you know how it feels, Dragon.
I mean, when it's going to the chorus of New York later in the song, Tiki, all the points, all these hometowns and all these names is kind of coming about.
Oh yes. At the end of the song, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Anyways, I'm regretting this already. My point is, I'm imagining that Joshua Thomas is hearing this and kind of seeing some parallels. And you know what? I always got a little bit of Ash Ketchum on the brain, a little bit of Pokemon. I had so much fun doing that. And you know
Every
what?
90s kid does always have a little bit of Ash Ketchum on the brain, Dragon. It's
Sir,
true. It's like a
little,
condition.
got a little bit of, I don't have a dad on the brain. And I think that's kind of.
It's just like even years later, I'm still in the back of my mind. Did Ash catch them all?
You see what I'm saying, though? I think he's just kind of
Yeah,
seeing
yeah.
it's kind of on his mind, especially with some kind of kind of a new game of the day here, a little reminiscent, perhaps. Like, you know what? It's not quite the Nintendo, but you know what? Well, actually, what it would be, it would be on the Nintendo Switch. He's playing this thing, right?
What, Animal Crossing?
Yeah, is he playing? Yeah, Animal Crossing.
Yeah, it's on the Switch. Yeah.
The point being, it's all relative, folks. That's my point. Anyway, regardless, thinking about these things are synonymous. Like, oh my god, I could maybe kind of put a little bit of connection here between something we've already kind of experimented with, and the other thing we've experimented with kind of the Pokemon of it all and the Hamilton of it all. Put them together, and boom, we have results here. Again, while in a pinch, let's just do kind of all these parry things with Ash Ketchum.
And Dragon, the correct terminology for this, just to get semantical with you one more time here. But I think this is an important distinction to make. I would classify this as an AMV, an animated music video.
I am vaguely familiar with the AMVs, and when you here's the thing. I don't know if I go AMV because AMVs are much more annoying the way they do it. But I guess when you put it's like this is specifically tailored. The whole point is the song. It's not just you want to see the clips and like the point of the song, but it's not just playing music behind it. It was always the annoying thing about.
But I'm just saying in terms of the style, it's certainly like an AMV style. If it's
like, an AMV style, it's the best AMV you've ever seen.
I mean, you're absolutely right. It's far better than like, just like Elsa and Jack Frost match up to some vague song about a heart turning to ice or something like that.
Like, I can't see whenever I look for like
I struck a nerve with the Elsa Jack Frost thing, didn't I?
Oh, you see, you know what I mean though. It's whenever I used to just find like clips of whenever you try to find clips of something, or you see like you type like looks for something with a character like a fan made thing. It's usually going to be like an AMV or hey, interesting concept blending. Like the close from these two characters in the show or something. You think it's going to be okay, maybe it's going to be these two, or it's going to be something like that. And it ends up being like just song in the background overshadowing everything you want to see with the clips. It's like
pretty much.
Always.
So this is much better done than that, for sure.
Far better done. Not sure it's quite the same comparison, but if you want to look at it as an AMV, it's the best AMV, single best AMV ever done.
All right. You're talking about a whole subgenre of YouTube, Dragon.
Well,
I'm just saying, there's far more AMVs than just like the lovey-dovey like shipping AMVs.
No, I'm saying beyond the shipping. Every time I go to an AMV, I'm always disappointed. It's always like I don't know. Anyway,
I'm just trying to pay proper respect to the veterans of the genre.
Right, anyway.
I'm a YouTube historian, Dragon. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway. So.
Okay. So again, light bulb connective. I don't have a dad aside. Let's just go. Let's go right into it then. Let's start.
How do you want to approach this? Do you want to?
These are questions best saved for before we go on with this. But I'm so you asked. I figured we just kind of roundabout go through the lyrics in a way.
Okay, fine. Let's roundabout go through the lyrics.
All right, so basically, we take the Ash Ketchum story, and basically we take kind of Hamilton's story, as it were, and we've replaced Alexander Hamilton with Ash, and we start things off with Gary, and Gary is, I believe, Aaron Burr in this case.
Aaron Burr, correct. One of the best villains in Broadway history, in my opinion.
I'll take your word.
Such a compelling villain.
So basically, we have Gary kind of singing the song here. He's kind of going through the story, I believe, rapping, as it were.
I think all of Hamilton is kind of like a little bit of like it's kind of rapping, but not really. It's more like talk rapping. I don't know. It's hard to distinguish. It's hard to distinguish with Hamilton. Like sometimes they full on rap, especially with Daveed Diggs parts. But anyways.
All right. So basically, we have kind of this kind of clever. It's very. I just love this. We're taking these we have a lot of really cleverly phrased lyrics here with Joshua does. I love everything he's doing lyric wise with this. I think it's just genius. Everyone's kind of lampooning.
Dropped onto kids WB at 3.
I know that's what I'm saying. Like the unwanted slot on Kids WB, and then like the
That
fatherless
was
boy.
very, very specific, and I loved it. Dragon,
That,
I'm just curious. You started watching Pokemon on Kids WB, right?
you know what? I swear to you, I want to say it was kind of the same as kind of Batman and Freakazoid, where I wasn't on the original networks. I was on
Okay.
Cartoon Network with every watch. I want to say that was how I started Pokemon. I think it was when I caught the repeats on Cartoon Network. I
Yeah,
believe
now
so.
that I think about it, I'm pretty sure I know for a fact I started on Kids WB. But then I think it moved to Cartoon Network right around the time of maybe the Orange Islands or something like that.
That sounds
Uh,
basically. I saw the original stuff on Cartoon Network. Then beyond
right.
that, I think it maybe bled it back into Kids W. I know when they had that new show on it, then I believe it then went back to Kids W. I'm not sure. You know, when they had like
Uh-huh.
the Max and
Can I
kid and
also
the
just say
sister.
I like the sound design of the clapping kind of ramping everything up at the beginning.
Yeah, it sounds like you're basically performing in front of a live audience, which is quite nice.
It's honestly like a lot cooler than the actual intro to the original song, if I'm telling the truth.
All right, let's see. So, but yeah, seriously, guys, major points on just kind of like what Joshua Thomas did in the writing of this thing. It was just great. We get all the really great deep cuts, like the unwanted slot on Kids WB.
Yeah.
And of course, the father's voice kind of, I assume, being the light bulb kind of like moment where it's like, yes. And of course, like the ultimate first, when I heard father's voice, like, okay, I see where he's going here. I don't know if that was before, I watched this before I saw the original. I was like, okay, there you go, fatherless boy. And
Right, right.
that's, of course, there's your I don't have a dad connect right there. It's
Oh,
beautiful.
Dragon, and also I forgot to mention this, but you'll remember we kind of had an infamous tiff between the two of us when I tried to pitch doing a parody of the song for the intro to Indiana August back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, now I remember. Yes.
This was the song, Dragon.
Yeah, so it was literally this song.
Yeah, I gotta say, I think if you go back to those lyrics, I think I did a pretty good job translating Indiana Jones into these lyrics.
I recall us not going with that, though.
Oh no, we definitely didn't go with it, and it would have
Yeah,
been a bad idea.
that's what I'm
But
saying. It would have been an awful idea.
no, but I'm still saying, even though it was a bad idea, I can still be proud of the lyrics.
Oh, sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Anyways,
Anyway, all right. Let's see. All right. I remember we have like what do we have? We have Tracy as who? Lawrence. Um,
yeah, Lawrence, yeah.
Tracy is Lawrence, and here's the thing. That was
I'm impressed you
Tracy's.
know the name Lawrence.
Hmm?
I said I'm impressed you know the name Lawrence. You
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
looked up
Again,
a lyric
I did
video.
research on it as much as I could with the one song. I had no idea what else happened in Hamilton. Just barely. It's basically this one song.
Well, this one song is pretty much the setup song, Dragon. It's kind of like the thesis statement for
Point
the
being,
show.
I'm vaguely familiar with the thesis. Then again, know as much as I
Okay.
can from just kind of a compare and contrast capacity. So Tracy here, of course. So Tracy's always been my earmark for Pokemon because Tracy was the point at which I went. I really got out of it for pretty much because I was there until Tracy, and I
Oh,
believe Tracy
Dragon,
drifting into.
I like Tracy. I don't care what
No, I don't
anyone
blame
says.
Tracy. I'm just saying he's like that's the big changeover I remember. Nothing against Tracy.
Yeah,
Whenever
yeah.
this Tracy character showed
I
up,
always had a soft spot for Tracy because I sort of liked that he was more soft spoken and mellow than Brock was, and I like that he was an artist. I don't know.
yeah, I
Like
gotta be honest. When you
thought
look at
I thought
Brock
he
these
had some good
days,
character traits.
he did. He did. You
Go.
know, of course, the whole sketching thing. I think he had like he had some sort of pun worked into his last name. It was like Sketchy or something. I don't know. It was
I
some
think
sort of.
it's literally Tracy Sketchum. I think it is. It's
Yeah,
literally
it's something like
or something
Sketchum.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. One band. I was there for Pokemon for up to Tracy, and I believe what is it? Is Pokemon 2000 the one where he's going for like the little balls with little lights in them? Is that the
Correct Mundo. That's
right?
Pokemon 2000. The
One
power
band. That's where
within.
that's as far as I really went with it. And then there was kind of a space, and I checked in with like the revamp that they had, the one with the kid and the sister.
Yes, I that's Pokemon
Is it
Oh,
Pokemon Go? No, not Pokemon Go. I'm sorry.
no, it's not
It
Pokemon
was
Go.
Pokemon
It's
something though.
named. It's named after one of the game series, or
It was
one of
like
the
Red and
generations.
Sapphire. Like there was like that's when they started getting into the. It was around the time they revamped it with.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was like Pokemon something and something. I don't remember
Ruby and
what
Sapphire,
though.
I think.
No, I don't think it was Ruby and Sapphire. That was like the third generation.
Anyway.
Ruby and Sapphire was like when Brock first came back.
All right, anyway, so
I'm sorry, folks. We're getting into like deep cut Pokemon lore here.
well, then again, this is kind of the time to get into the deep cut Pokemon lore when you think about it, though. For it, there's going to be any appropriate time. All right, so we have Brock as Jefferson.
Yes. And I say Jefferson, Davey Diggs is my favorite cast member in the original Hamilton album. He's probably a lot of people's favorite cast member. So let's see. So
Brock begins to recap the first season of Pokemon, essentially, which I'm most familiar with. The whole, I believe.
And then one day saves Pikachu from being taken away. Pikachu behaves. This duo was down and dirty. They catch a Caterpie, and then they're ready to catch a Pidgey birdie.
So here's the thing. Okay, so with this was the big sell of Pokemon for me. The idea, okay, again with the whole he's gonna catch them all. I was like, okay, he's building this team of Pokemon. I dig it, man. All right, along the way, yeah, well, add a Pokemon.
What I like about it is that all the Pokemon in the original show actually got some semblance of character development.
Yes, like the whole goodbye Butterfree of it all, man.
Oh
like,
my god! Oh, don't get me started on that Butterfree thing. Jesus,
that's
Christ,
what I'm saying. That was a beautiful.
trauma.
I believe the Butterfree got like a little scarf or something. It was a whole thing.
I mean, nowadays there's so many Pokemon, as we'll get to, as the song very cleverly points
I know,
out.
we'll get that, yes.
But yeah, man, back in the day when it was only like 150 to 250 or so, I could keep track and I could feel an attachment to all these Pokemon. Anyways.
All right, so basically Brock's recapping the first season, which I believe goes to the Indigo League, if I remember correctly. Basically the whole Indigo League of it all.
Well, no, and then Team Rocket came.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're throughout the whole show, though. I mean, there's the Indigo League, and it's the big first championship they get to, right?
Right, yeah.
Anyway, so it's then Team Rocket. I'm just saying overall, it's what the whole first season was about.
Right? Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so Team Rocket, they came in like a hurricane.
And I do like how Joshua Thomas works in actual lyrics from the song as much as he can.
Yeah.
Like, referencing the hurricane and a couple other times.
And then we have, of course, the cat who's really the brains behind the outfit.
And then I love the rhythmic structure of Jesse James.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. And
basically, we're playing Team Rocket as like the inciting incident of the story, which again goes per the original song. This is kind of the inciting incidents, like we stirred things up for our protagonist in this case, via Team Rocket.
All right, so Gary comes back on. Well, the word got around saying this kid is insane, man. With a Pokedex, Professor Oak gave him the main plan. Be a Pokemaster. Don't forget from whence you came. And the world's gonna know your name. What's your name, man? Which is as lifted from the original song as it could be, honestly.
What's your name, man?
What's your name, man?
So then we have Joshua Thomas coming in full-on adult Ash Ketchum voice.
Oh God! And Josh Thomas was talking about doing the more extreme Gary voice, like how does a bastard, orphan, son of a whore? And I'm glad he didn't go for that.
Yeah, Bill, that's the thing.
There's some subtle Gary undertones there, but it's not to the point of any sort of self-parody.
No, but seriously, the important thing Josh Thomas is doing here that kind of, I would say, sets this apart from your average, ordinary Hamilton parody is that he built legitimacy through the hilarity, as it were. He just kind of built. I can't say it's fully grounded, but what I can say is that again, I think he's getting invested. Okay, we're starting with the Hamilton of all, and then it diverges slowly, more incrementally as it goes on. It's diverging, and then full on Pokemon, and there we go. Now we can get away with Gary and everything. We have to earn it, though.
Right. Okay.
Let's see.
All right, so yeah, you're right. Joshua Thomas comes in full on adult Ash Ketchum. My name is Ash Ketchum from Pallet Town, And there are 8 badges I haven't won, but just you wait. Just you wait.
So you're gonna have to fill me in on this. So if I'm interpreting it correctly, basically we're using the 8 badges to parallel, the million things
A
that
million things I haven't done.
hasn't done. Which basically is, of course, the big adventure of Hamilton, through the course of.
Yeah, it's just Hamilton. The whole
yeah.
one of the big themes of Hamilton is just he's just nonstop working and just one of the most industrious people of our founding fathers, and he doesn't get enough credit for how much stuff he actually accomplished in his lifetime.
Certainly.
So,
all right. So then we have Misty, who I believe is Eliza.
Eliza, yes.
Yes, so she's Eliza, and then we get into one of the really funny observations, and I keep forgetting this, but it's like oddly, yes, I just love so much they brought us to the whole Forever 10 element of it all. Like, oh yeah, he's 10 years old forever. He's always been 10 years old. He's like, he can't age out of 10, even though he's kind of an older looking 10, if you ask me. But the point being, he's he's forever 10. His father split again. The running gag of I don't have a dad. Just this. And we just have this fun retrospective on Pokemon throughout the years, and of course, like many flashbacks and so on through to kind of the first season of it all. So let's see. Of course, we have there's this gag with Ash's mother, where basically I believe it's in the original it's that the mother died, right?
Yes, correct.
So I love that we're kind of like that's kind of a little divergent right there. Okay, so the mother's alive, but again, we gave her the role of saying, she says,
Ketchum, you gotta fend for yourself.
Right. So essentially, again, her role in Pokemon was essentially saying, "You gotta go, Ash. You gotta go out for the adventure." So again,
and in the original show, that line is basically said collectively to the ensemble, to Hamilton, about like after his mom dies, like, Alex, you gotta fend for yourself.
Yeah. And again, all this sort of, so this is like the fun retrospective Pokemon stuff is really giving me flashbacks more accurate. That's kind of what I'm getting at there. It's like all this other stuff. So it's kind of all the observational humor on the Pokemon is just really strong here. But yeah, it's been 10 years old since the show began to now. For 20 years, kid's been 10 years old.
Dragon, I wish they would like age him up to at least be like, I don't know, like a teenager, or like, like do the Harry Potter thing with him.
See, I'll tell you what I think it is. You know why I think they've kept him at 10?
Because marketability. Sorry.
Well, no, I was thinking about, again, if they want marketability, I'm sure they could just make him a 14-year-old kid. But my point is this: I think he's stuck at 10 because of the voice. I'm convinced that's why, because they want to keep him with the kind of the really younger sounding voice. So again, his voice cannot deepen. It can't even deepen like age 15. So like
that iconic.
Like the most that they could get him up to is again, it's like maybe 13 or 14 in terms like before the voice really kind of like starts to deepen, right? That's why I think he's perpetually 10 years old. I never really had to think about it until this happened, but that's what I'm convinced of. It's like the Timmy Turner effect. Again, he can't be more than 10. He has to sound consistent. He's got to sound.
I didn't even think about it that way, but yeah.
Yeah. Right, let's see. Of course, then we call out again. We're calling all the fun stuff about Pokemon over the years, like Brock left him high and dry, which led to the Orange Islands, which again is when we get the new guy, Tracy. So I gotta admit, when you look back on Brock being the girl crazy guy he was, that's the thing. I think it's why Tracy has kind of a better reflection today than he used to.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I don't want to like say like, oh, Brock is like canceled.
No, God, no. I'm just saying though, it's really repetitive with Brock. Is my point.
It is. Yeah.
And it's not even that. It's just he always lusting after the same girl when you really think about it. Same girl, different branch, different region. But it was either
that's honestly like I thought that Tracy. I mean, a lot of people say that Tracy didn't have a character, but I like that he was soft spoken and had an artistic side to him. I thought that was his character. I don't know.
That was, as far as I know, literally he's named after his hobby, so I'd imagine so.
All right. Then we get into my favorite bit, which is essentially like counting up the Pokemon. Like it started with 150, but then Nintendo. I'm sorry, I don't have the lyrics right in front of me, but Nintendo.
Well, yes, you do.
No, I've got the screen in front of me, Dragon, not the lyrics.
Oh.
I'm sorry. But now there's 4. Wait, there's more. Over 700. Dragon, I love the delivery of Joshua Thomas. Just like, wait, there's more.
God. Yeah,
To me, I feel like that delivery almost kind of like single-handedly like summed up everyone's experience with how fast the
mhm.
Pokemon IP grew. Like, oh my God, there's 400. Wait, there's more. There's over 700 now. When did that happen?
Just crazy. And again, Tiki, I'm gonna echo everything you said earlier. I'm absolutely with you. Again, the 150 manageable and like that has like the checklist quality. It's like, okay,
Uh,
150. Let's see if I
I
can go
would go
back and
up to
see if you caught them.
300, Dragon. I think 300 is manageable,
That's the
honestly.
max. 300 is the
Yeah.
max. I mean, again, preferentially 250, but I mean,
Uh,
150 was always the golden, like, okay, 150. And if we get creative, maybe we go up to 200. Let's keep a window of 50, if you ask me. That's where I think,
uh,
okay, a window of 50. So basically, we're paralleling Ketchum, the whole Ketchum all quality to Hamilton, just kind of like fending for himself and building himself up and going through the adventure, as it were.
mhm.
All right. So then we see clips of the big Indigo League finale with Richie. I believe Richie was like the final opponent for Ash, and he lost. I actually brought this up in the live stream because it always bothered me. I believe we saw a little bit of a clip. We didn't see quite the letdown moment, but we did see Charizard really dropped the ball in that first season. I don't know if you remember, but here's the thing. So basically,
Dragon, I
Charizard is.
feel like I still am convinced that it was the fucking Pokemon card more than anything else that cemented Charizard's pop culture legacy. It
Charizard, really cool design. Let's be honest, cool
really
design.
cool design, and I feel like the Pokemon card is legendary for people who grew up collecting the cards.
But that animated show, man. I mean, again, we just any majesty that you had, just Charizard was like he's like the lazy of the Pokemon. Really, that's what he was. He was just like he's just like sometimes he'll be invested, sometimes he won't. He's kind of the Brian Johnson of the Pokemon. Let's be honest.
Oh God.
But again, a lot of love for Brian Johnson. That's who he is. The point being, sometimes interested, sometimes not. No, in all
Uh-huh.
seriousness, getting back, that's the thing. Charizard, basically, the idea was okay. He was about to save the day, win the day, but he just gave up in the middle of battle with a very clearly could have won. And basically, the reason for this is Joshua Thomas speculated. I believe he correctly speculated is that we can't have Ash win in the first season, or else he's basically show's over if he wins and he's a champion now. He's got to earn the
Well, yeah,
belt.
pretty much.
Yeah. And when you say it like that, yeah, but seeing how close he was, I'm just literally because he didn't train Charizard well enough. Like, I never. Do you remember at all? Like, did he ever get Charizard under control, well trained?
Oh
Was
yeah,
always.
eventually, yes. Eventually, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
that's what I'm
Like
saying.
Charizard was eventually OP as hell.
Yeah, still always felt a little like BS. Like he conked out like that. I don't know. Anyway, so my Pokemon ramblings aside here. So, and we're hyping up the Elite Four.
To
So
win
we're
more,
hyping up the Elite Four,
you
and then
must
again, major
beat
pro.
the Elite Four.
So we're let's see. So we're I love major props Joshua Thomas's editing prowess and then the usage of like all these basically so many appropriate clips. Again, we see many things about Joshua Thomas again as a director, as an editor, as a creative, as a man who fancies a number of hats. Of course, I think the hat that I think he fits most comfortably in editor. Man, the man is like one of the finest editors you've seen. I think that's why all this came together so well. And then we have my favorite, the Pokeball shot. Again, whenever I think Pokemon, I'm always thinking of the Pokeball. It's like the one thing, the one mandated thing I wanted to see in Detective Pikachu, and we got it right towards the start again. When you throw the Pokeball,
Yeah.
it's been there so many times in the game. You throw the Pokeball, it catches the Pokemon, and it's like, well, just it's a little shake, and it's like, oh god, the red light's on. Is it gonna take? Is it gonna take? Got that in the editing, really nice. And of course, we have the Just You Wait and kind of the New York of it all. In this case, I believe it's just the Just You Wait Pallet Town, if I'm remembering correctly here. All right, so then we have the big, and then this is where I got to give props to the original as well. This is where I really, and I think it was captured even better here, where we have the big defined kind of final statements from the ensemble
Yeah.
here. We
And
build
trust
up.
me, Dragon, in the original it works really well because it kind of teases up like, oh my god, like why are these people a little bit bitter with him? Because they're saying it in the past tense. And Dragon, I'm sorry, I got to give props to the original. I think the original is a bit better because I do think this is great. You know, like it all fits. Like, you know, like me, we fought with him with Misty and Brock. Me, I loved him with the mother. And then it pans to Gary, and Gary's just like, me, I'm the damn fool.
Well, no, you
And of
forgot
course,
Professor Oak.
well, yeah, what does Professor Oak say? Sorry, me, I taught him.
I trusted him.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. There's two ambiguous. There's one really ambiguous note with Hamilton, which is Washington saying, "Me, I trusted him," and it's like, oh, what did Hamilton do to lose Washington's trust? And then Aaron Burr saying, "Me, I'm the damn fool that shot him," which is, of course, just ultimate foreshadowing. You know, it kind of spoils the ending of the play right off the bat, but it has this sort of element of suspense because essentially Burr and Hamilton become really good friends before the fallout happens. So I'm sorry, I'm just geeking out about Hamilton here, but
well, I would hope the original could really do what they're gonna do with that after all that hype, because I knew that was the big difference there with Gary, because obviously Gary, we can't have him shoot Ash, so we have to omit that line from here. But
I feel like they should have had some sort of other line with Gary, though. I don't know, instead of just like, I'm the damn fool.
yeah, it definitely feels like there's something a little lacking there. I'll absolutely agree with you there. And again, hopefully the original definitely made the meal.
But maybe I'm just saying that just because the original "I'm the damn fool that shot him" is kind of like the line in the song that has the most weight, and it really kind of takes you into the rest of the play with this sort of like cloud hanging over your head of like, oh man, like Burr and Hamilton are becoming good friends, but Burr shoots him in the end. How's that going to play out? I'm sorry, I'm geeking out over Hamilton.
Okay, the point is, I would still
structure.
say, even as is, even with all that factor, and it still feels like there's like an incomplete line there, and we just then got to the ending, like, I'm the fool, and of course, what's your name, man? It's like, okay, it just feels like we just cut off what Gary was saying there, so it feels almost like a mistake in the editing, though we know it's not a mistake in the editing. It just feels like maybe it could have, like, I'm the, just more of a period at the end of fool. Anyway, so of course you Ash Ketchum from Pallet down. That's the ending. Then we have a tag gag of JJ plugging some merch.
I need to get some of this merch, man.
It looks good. Here's the thing: it's also actually some really nice merch that I haven't seen before. I don't know if it's brand new or not. Maybe I wasn't looking hard enough. These polo shirts with the little JJ stuff on. It looks really nice. Anyway.
I do have the Joker. What is
the freak shirt? Tiki, you have the freak shirt.
Yeah, freak. Right. Freak,
how do I know your shirt's better?
Because I've got a lot of shirts, Dragon. I'm sorry, I've got a lot of shirts. I've got that shirt, but I feel like that shirt is a little bit taboo to wear post Joker. Although I guess with the hype going down with Joker, it's probably fine. I can probably wear that in public just fine now.
And now I'm pretty sure you can, because even then it was a non-issue.
All right, fair enough.
I mean, I wore a shirt to the premiere of him going down the stairs. I'm sure we're going to be fine.
But yeah, I just I really want a Just Giggle It logo shirt, Dragon. I really want to get my hands on that.
Well, some of the new ones they have on the back of them, they have the the Harley Quinn versus the Real World logo on the back of the Harley Quinn and Joker shirt. It's really nice.
All right. So, final thoughts?
Well, also this is when Josh gave us a little shout out for the ending here. So I know you mentioned earlier, but at the very end, of course, we end on like, I don't have a dad, which
I don't have a dad.
That was funny. It's funny. There was kind of a 50-50 shot there. I'm satisfied with both. While he went with I don't have a dad, apparently he said he was thinking about us for leave her alone, Chad. little Chad
I feel like I don't have a dad works better.
It is, because it complements the whole piece and the point of inspiration. But it was still Chad. Is there any Hamilton character named Chad or any semblance?
Oh God,
of Chad?
No.
Really, there's no bad characters named Chad you can think of.
No, there's definitely not one named Chad. I'm trying to think like. There is a general who shits the bed during a battle and kind of causes a lot of people to lose their life. That Hamilton then challenges to a duel. Charles Lee. Charles Lee.
Charles is kind of close.
Charles is close. You better shut your mouth, Charles.
I don't know. Maybe it's not the same oomph, but it's anyway.
I do love the introduction to that character because essentially Hamilton's sort of he's venting about George Washington not having him be on the field. And he's like, instead of me, he promotes Charles Lee, makes him second in command. And then Charles Lee comes up, I'm the general. We.
Wait, he says I'm the general. We.
Yes, he literally comes on stage and he's like, I'm the general. We. It's ridiculous. All right. Anyways, I could geek out about Hamilton. You really should watch it or listen to it. When the movie comes out, will you watch the movie?
Well, wait. Remind me. Is this a movie they're just gonna film the performance, or is actually gonna be just gonna film the performance? I don't know.
It's a film performance, Dragon, but still.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Anyway, I'm not gonna see it in theaters. I know that much. All right.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. If it drops on Disney Plus.
If it's on Disney Plus, I'll give it a shot. Or if it ends up,
all right, there you go. There you go. If it drops on Disney Plus, I'm going to hold you to that.
Emphasis on give it a shot. If I can't get through the first act, I ain't finishing it.
Try to get through the first act. God damn it.
Anyway.
All right. Final thoughts. Okay, yeah, I think this is. I think it's a really clever kind of like subversion of the AMV genre. To be sure, it's a fun parody. I like that it takes both elements of the anime and the anime fandom and kind of like wraps it up. Like, it takes reference points and then also stuff that the anime fandom has talked about. Like, well, yeah, why does he stay 10 forever? It's a good mix. It's a good mix in that regard of different references and elements. So yeah, just overall, I really enjoyed it. Also, Dragon, I sent this out to Twitter. I tweeted JGI this, and I hope they got it because I think it's a good idea for quarantine content from them. I think they should do just based on the fact that Joshua Thomas does this guy's voice really, really well. I think they should do commentaries on some of their older videos with, "Hi, this is Al Jean, Simpson showrunner."
Oh god! Yeah. See, now we could just go down a rabbit hole like a commentary reminiscing. I have so many positive Family Guy commentaries before it all went to heck that we could talk about.
Al Jean, Simpson showrunner.
That's funny. I just love the relationship between Seth MacFarlane and David A. Goodman in those commentaries. But that's how I knew those. That's how I got to really know those showrunners. I back.
The best commentaries on The Simpsons were easily the Conan O'Brien commentaries because you got a lot of sort of the inside scoop on how Conan's show came to be and how the people at NBC kind of discovered his writing through kind of memos and stuff like that, and how it was a hard decision to leave The Simpsons and how it was a big deal that basically an unknown comedy writer was headlining a talk show. Well, really interesting stuff if you listen to the Conan commentaries.
Well, while we're talking about commentaries, there's a bit of a Better Call Saul commentary.
Oh, God.
When basically the actor plays Daniel Wormel compares himself to the Mucinex Man, which is hysterical anyway.
The Mucinex Man?
Yes, he's very self-deprecating in comparison to the Mucinex guy, which is hysterical. The one formerly voiced by the Miller, that guy.
Yeah, I know. Oh, God. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, God, really? Just Miller. Anyway, okay. So my final thoughts. I think this demonstrates Joshua Thomas's editing prowess. Very well. It's an excellent showcase of it. We continue the fun Ash Ketchum runner. This is kind of the third in the trilogy, if you will. So far, maybe not like a definite trilogy, but I'm saying maybe some supplemental stuff. I don't know how you want to look at it, but again, hopefully more Ash Ketchum to come in the future. So this works on a number of levels. It works on kind of the level of just kind of the Pokemon humor, just kind of definitely kind of the real deep cuts, kind of gags, and just kind of the stuff from the fans and everything. Of course, about like the numerous Pokemon, the time slots, the Ash Ketchum, his age, and everything we already went through. It works on a Hamilton parody level, and it also works on the kind of legitimizing the farce in kind of legitimizing things in some respects. You legitimize basically the humor that legitimizes things per JGI stamp of let's let's kind of do this and we'll go more absurd as we crank up the knob and kind of rip it off.
Mm-hmm.
And again, outside, kind of in some respects, maybe outshines the original to someone who hasn't sat through all of Hamilton. I'll go as far as to say that, but it's something kind of like in some respects, it's like I a little bit more. I can glom onto this one a little bit more. Again, per that Pokemon kind of it's like it's a little crack in the door. It's like what? Let's see what's behind that door. So it's again, this definitely shows a lot of love for the original, a lot of love for it, but also it's it's just so clever, fun, and investing. This one it really is. And it's kind of proof that even JGI in a bind, they still got it, buddy. Boy, that's the big takeaway. There's the big headline. JGI in a bind? No siree. JGI, they're still going to do great stuff. While things are locked down, while we may not be able to kind of go on location per se, they're still going to turn out some funny stuff. Mark of quality, folks. JGI. 3 letters to remember. Okay.
Right. And then, of course, if they don't come out with anything next week, Dragon, then we're going to get to the bottom of the barrel. We're scraping the bottom of the grab bag, Dragon, potentially, if they don't come out with anything.
And if they need any more motivation after that point, then we start to get into stuff like like the JGI biopic. We're ruminating, folks. We're talking casting.
Oh, that's
stuff
a legitimate threat. It's not a promise. It's a threat.
Yes, that's the thing, folks. JGI, once you hit that dry spell, believe me, I know you got at least 2 you're working on right now in the editing process. I don't know if it's going to be like a panic call from Joshua Thomas, like, JD, listen, you got to finish. You got to finish the editing. It goes crazy. Yahoos are talking about us all the time. They're going to do a biopic. I'm terrified of it. You got to give them something. Starve them off.
Oh God!
It's gonna be, it's just gonna be like they dedicated so much time and effort into this. What is this? I'm so afraid. Right. Piper, save me! What? All of our ridiculousness aside, again, fun stuff, and I guess that'll do it, right?
Yep. Take us out.
That's it until the next, potentially final, at least for a while, reach into the Just Giggle It grab bag.
Then there was 4. No, there's more. Over 700.